Shoot. Can you guys hear me? I was talking forever. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know. My bad. Yeah, I play the old intro as requested. How you guys been? Good? Chat, let me know. Please, 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 can you hear me? I don't want to talk for an hour and no one hear me. How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? Cool, cool. They can hear me. I can hear. Cool. Thank you, Dad Master. Appreciate it. You guys don't know, my name is DubDigital. I am a crypto fiend. I live, breathe, eat crypto. That's all I do all the time. And happy to be here with you guys. It's been a little bit. Hopefully I start getting some of my other viewers back. You know how it goes. The market pumps, things start going up, people start coming back, and we'll get the whole crew back. I do these twice a week. I do Tuesday, Thursday live streams at noon PST, wherever you're at. Convert that to whatever that means. I'm gonna do this regularly so I can give you guys some info, some alphas. Today we're going to be talking about crypto security in lieu of what happened with the whole Ledger wallet connect kit thing, which wasn't cool. We need to talk about it, especially with people coming into the space for the first time. I put a thread out on my X account talking about like pretty general crypto security. But, you know, I always take it for granted. I have been in the space for about 10 years and I just kind of assume everyone knows these things. And that's not the case. Not always, at least. But before we do that, guys, make sure to follow me on X. Please, please. I post things there. I do threads there more frequently. I'm also doing YouTube. I'm getting around to the shorts thing. It's going to come. But these live streams will be a consistent thing as well. So you can join me on X. You can live stream there. I live stream there. I don't think you could interact, though. So if you want to join the chat, show up like that, head over to YouTube. If you don't care, stay where you're at. I don't care, man. I'm not picky like that. But as we wait for some people to filter on in, you guys been good? It's Tuesday. I know. You got to go through Tuesday before you get to Friday, though, so it's all good. Crypto security. You know, and this is, you know, if you're new to my stream for the first time, this is very conversational. We give, take, do some banter back and forth. You guys talk about some topics. I respond. It's a team effort. But I'll kick it off. So crypto security, guys, if you don't know, let me forward into the chat pretty much my thread regarding that. 1 second. Called Not Your Keys, Not Your Coins. And it talks about basically like the different types of wallets, right? If you guys don't know, there's like pretty much two large categories of wallets: hot storage, cold storage. Hot storage gets exposed to the internet frequently or at all, right? Cold storage doesn't get pretty much exposed to the internet frequently. Back in the day, before like DeFi enable wallets like Ledger and things like that, they never really got exposed because, you know, they'd be like air gapped, right? They have a secure element in them where they wouldn't get exposed and never expose your private keys. Apparently, based on what happened with the Ledger Wallet Connect kit, that's no longer the case. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But let me know what you guys do in terms of like how you store your crypto. It's the most important thing in terms of owning crypto. The one beautiful thing about owning crypto is being able to self-custody your funds. One of the biggest drawbacks of owning crypto is self-custodying your funds. It's a give and a take. It's a blessing and a curse, right? There's no one to fall back on. It's all on you. All the risk is on you, but all the glory is on you as well. It's very extreme space, guys. So do you guys use any hot wallets? What do you do in terms of cold storage? Before we get into it, let me know. Bring the videos back. See, Robert, that takes a lot of effort, man. Like the single videos. We'll see. I got to get some more viewerships on those, man. It's a give and a take. I can't be doing those, all that effort for a little payoff. These streams are much easier on me. It's much like more chill. And I think that's how I grew my core following, you know. But we'll see. I'll never say never, ever. Yeah, guys. Okay, so no one uses cold storage or hot storage, whatever. I mean, some hot storage wallets I like is like Exodus wallet. It's pretty good user interface. I don't think they have a mobile application, but they got desktop. Ones I've used before. I'm not like, this is not an endorsement. Trust Wallet if you're going to be messing with BSC. Um, Coinbase Wallet. I know a lot of people hate Coinbase Wallet, but to be honest, I mean, if you're a newbie, it's probably not half bad. I mean, I haven't lost funds on using it before. But you guys got to know, it's all, the security of your hot wallet is totally dependent on you, what you interact with, the links, the suspicious links you click. You know what I mean? So I guess we should talk about some like best practices in terms of like operating your personal devices in lieu with hot wallets, right? Don't be clicking links. Don't click weird looking links. Be very skeptical. You're in crypto. And if people know, if anyone's gotten control of your email or anything like that, they can see that you're getting emails from Coinbase, you're getting emails from Kraken, this and that. They probably put two and two together and know that you're in crypto, right? So, like, one of the most, I guess, prevalent attacks on crypto wallets and stuff is like social engineering, right? And a lot of that's through phishing attempts, right? So they'll send you something that invokes fear in you, that makes you want to like, kind of makes you flinch. It makes you like be fearful, because when you get someone to like react emotionally, the whatever they think kind of gets jumbled up. They're not as thinking clearly as if they were straight logical and no emotions interjected, right? So you'll probably have seen these, right? Like they come through in your inbox. Oh, like your accounts are drained. Click this link to verify with Coinbase to initiate like account, like, I don't know, like locking or some crap. Like I know people who have like fell victim to this. Unfortunately, they were new to this space, you know, like, to be honest, I met someone a couple years ago that lost like mid six figures in like an attempt like that. It was a fake Coinbase rep stating that like, yo, like your stuff got drained. You have to send your identification, all this stuff. The dude got scared, didn't know much about crypto. He just in it for like the money, and he made money in the last cycle. He thought it would be easy this cycle. He got targeted. He fell for it. He didn't understand how crypto worked. He sent all the documents over. All that stuff got drained. It's horror stories, right? So first of all, like, you don't have to like jump right away and act and get in reactionary mode, right? Because like if there was a real like attack on your crypto, the exchange is hacked. You know what I mean? Like, just breathe, take it easy, and then like reassess. Don't ever just move out of like fear just because you're scared. Like, that's how you usually lose money in crypto. That and phishing attempts, clicking on something, exposing your passwords. But that's where we really get more into like cold storage, right? But everyone has to use some kind of hot storage like solution. It's inevitable. If you interact with any DApp, if you like even trade, like, you're gonna have hot storage. And hot storage isn't like a villain. It's not bad. It's just how you conduct yourself around them. I use both Trezor and MetaMask. Yeah, MetaMask is probably the most popular like hot storage like wallet, right? And that's what was really affected by the Ledger Wallet Connect vulnerability that we saw last week or two ago. Um, so that's very interesting. We'll get into cold wallets real quick, but if you guys don't know, head over to X. Make sure to follow me. I posted a thread or a post on this stating the advantages and disadvantages of hot wallets and cold wallets, the types of cold wallets, and I guess that's a good segue to talk about cold storage. Right, so cold storage is a device that pretty much has a secure element that never exposes your private keys. Without your private keys, even though someone could see your balances, they can't access your balances. That's the beauty of it, right? And it's a good, and when I say like cold storage, I'm talking hardware wallets. It's a good mix between convenience, because you can get it technically off of the device into a hard wallet, and like control on your like security, because in theory that private key is never exposed. I say that because I'll get into it in a second, right? There's other types of cold storage, and let me know in the chat if you guys use any of these. But there's paper wallets. I mean, to be honest, guys, that was like the OG way to store crypto, especially Bitcoin back in the day. Basically a slip of paper that prints out. It has your private key on it, has a QR thing, you could scan it. I mean, you could even chalk it up to being a seed phrase or mnemonic phrase, right? Your 12 or 24 word phrase that you can use to regenerate your wallet. It's just basically a piece of paper or something written on it. You could regenerate that wallet. And then there's even like, I guess like even more secure than that, depending how you look at it, is a brain wallet where you remember that seed phrase inside of your head. That's where everyone says that I can store as much money in Fort Knox within my head, which is true. But all these things are not without vulnerability. It's just the kind of risk that you're willing to take, right? Because like, look, you can have a paper wallet and it's totally safe from the internet theft, but now you're subject to physical theft because someone could just roll through, pick it up, regenerate it, right? That's something that's not really possible with the hardware wallet. And then if you have a brain wallet, you're not subject to physical theft and you're not subject to like remote hacking theft, but you are subject to violence. And you are subject to forgetting your seed phrase. Imagine having like $50 million in Bitcoin and just forgetting it. No bueno, no bueno, right? So with self-custody comes a lot of responsibility in owning crypto. I mean, I think that's the real reason crypto has lacked its ability to catch mainstream adoption from most of the people, because most people don't want that responsibility. Let's be real. They don't want to be responsible for it. If they lose it, they forget their password. They want to go to the bank and call up the rep and they can do some verification and get them back in. That's it. That's it. In order to accept crypto and the gains that come with it and life-changing wealth that comes with it and all the opportunity that comes with it, you have to accept the other side of that too. ELA have a nice pump today. Cool, man. ELA, I haven't looked at it in a while. How's it doing? Phantom wallet for Solana. That's true. If you guys are interacting with the Phantom, with Solana blockchain, the best user experience is Phantom. I think one of the best wallet experiences in blockchain right now is Phantom. It's got its NFTs right up on there. You can swap right on it. Obviously, tokens listed right in it. A lot of the popular dApps on Solana have like it integrated into it. I know for sure Magic Eden. So like, I think a lot of even MetaMask could learn a thing or two from Phantom Wallet, in my opinion. As far as security is concerned, I don't know, but I know they weren't involved or like subject to the Wallet Connect thing. That was an Ethereum thing, so it'd be interesting. I don't know much about it technically, but it's a good user experience. Trezor, definitely. I like Exodus for quick moves and Ledger for long term, but might be moving to Descent Wallet. Okay. And you guys use like paper wallets or anything like that? Anything that's not hardware? I know that hardware is pretty much like, I would say most people have hardware for the long-term storage. But the one thing I think that like really with this wallet connecting open people's eyes to is like all hardware wallets are not made equal. I will talk about that a little more. Never click links even from friends. Yeah. I'm super sketchy, but just like I leave it like looking at it, copy pasting the URL. I'm looking at it like anything weird. That's where they get you guys, like clicking on phishing attempts and phishing links and all that. Yeah, that's why hardware wallets are dope, right? Because like even if you get like infiltrated and they see your keystrokes, they really can't do anything unless they have the they touch it manually and approve. I thought the hack was because of malicious code embedded in an update that was missed by the Ledger team. Oh, okay. So basically, let's get into the Wallet Connect, right? And then we'll get into different types of like alternative wallets. But basically, from what I read, and Dadmaster, you put me onto it during the last stream. I was like, what's up with Ledger? What's happening? You're like, oh, read about it. So I read about it, right? So basically, legend has it is that the Ledger team like let some developer go, right? And the dev wasn't even working with them. However, it sounds like they didn't revoke access to like him uploading onto the library in GitHub or something like that, right? I might have the depository wrong, but they didn't revoke his access. That guy got hit with a phishing, a phishing scam, right? He clicked the link or something like that. Then there's some way that through like seeing his like activity, we're able to get the password to upload. He also had upload rights. He was not even working for Ledger at the time. Then they uploaded that malicious code into the Wallet Connect code base, and then it basically affected a whole bunch of things like throughout the industry. Anything that used Wallet Connect from Ledger was like affected by it. So that's what happened. I mean, to be honest, I used to be a Ledger fan. If you guys don't know, I used to have a hardware wallet website where I would do reviews. That thing got crushed by the Google ban that like 2018. They banned cryptocurrency keywords and like marketing and all that. I went from like some good traction to zero. So they squished my whole thing. I'm a little salty about it still. But I was all into hardware wallets. I totally love the whole thing of a digital safe. I totally appreciate the aspect of like a hardware wallet, right? Like it makes it so much easier because I came from a time when I had to keep my Bitcoin on a CD, an encrypted CD. Like not my Bitcoin, but you know what I mean, like my keys. And I went through a situation where I forgot part of the password. I couldn't get it off. It was crazy. I finally did through a friend. We had to like crack it. Thank God I had like 80% of the password, but so it made it pretty easy and it was fast to do. But if you didn't have any password, you wouldn't get it off, right? So I was like, after that experience, I knew I was real lucky, and I looked into different ways to store my stuff, right? So hardware wallets are near and dear to my heart, but I started off loving Ledger. Loving Ledger. My homie used to use Trezor, and that was the original Bitcoin wallet, hardware wallet, that is. But over the years, Ledger has really just kind of dropped the ball. And you guys don't know, like I'll walk you through it. They got hacked before, and all their like customers' addresses and names and email addresses got leaked onto the dark web. I was part of that. So now I stay getting like mostly scam calls like all the time. Like that sucked, right? And then they have this wallet connect was it Ledger Recover program. Basically, the whole thing with Ledger and like Trezor and all these hardware solutions or hard wallet solutions is that your private key can never leave the device. It never can, ever will. Like you generate it, you know it, it stays there. That's the whole like draw of hardware wallets. Because if someone could extract your private keys, then they can essentially extract your crypto. That basically makes it a glorified hop storage device, right? So when Ledger came out a year or so ago and talked about their Ledger Recover program, it caught a lot of controversy, right? Because basically what they were selling their device for wasn't necessarily true. Because they're saying it's the opt-in service, you have to opt in, and then basically shards of your key get sent to 3 people, and then with the right verification, you can upload ID and a facial scan, and then if you forget how to access it, they'll send it to you and you can restore your crypto. The problem is, being the people in crypto who have like trust issues like us, right? They're like, wait, you could get my shards of my key and it goes to 3 different people? So what's stopping them from acting maliciously and just taking it without my verification, without me opting in? Like that's the main thing. So they got hate on that. A lot of people left from that. And then this happens where a hardware like wallet company that's supposed to be focusing on security literally doesn't revoke access to a ex-employee. Like it's just dropping the ball on security. You would think that a security company would have their processes down, ironed down, pat for security. You can't really, in my mind, there's no coming back from this. They've lost too much trust because that's what hardware wallet companies really rely on is trust. I mean, if you don't have trust, who's going to take a chance on your product, right? So that's a little rundown of what happened, guys. I used the paper wallet in 2015, but I lost it, LOL. Damn. See, that's the problem. See, paper wallets are cool. You can't get it stolen, but they can burn, they can get wet, and the ink can smudge. They can get lost, they can get stolen. It's a physical item, and with physical items, they also have risks that are unique, right? So it's hard. It's hard, but like, to be honest, it's probably the safest route from having it on any electronic device, because we've seen that even electronic devices that we thought were safe are not that safe, at least in Ledger's case. Hey, you know what I mean? And Ledger, like, I think there was a post online once from one of their support groups, right? It was deleted. It was a tweet, but they basically said, basically, Ledger has always had this capability to update its firmware so that keys could be extracted. You, being the customer, has always just trusted Ledger never to produce a type of firmware update like that. And now all the truth starts coming out. Especially, you know, it's the truth because they deleted it. So that's the thing, guys. I mean, if you have a significant amount of crypto, what's the point of keeping it on something that you can just lose it? You might as well get a hardware wallet. You might as well get a freaking MetaMask. You know what I mean? So that's enough on talking about what Ledger did wrong. I think a lot of people in the space feel the same way. Let's talk about alternatives you can use for Ledger. I just got another hardware wallet. Another one. I mean, I've had like 5, 6 of them over the years, but things change. You hear things. You got to take your security seriously. And I know they're expensive, and I know they're not free, but this is the cost of doing business, y'all. You know, like, you can't be spending thousands of dollars in digital money and then cheap out on your security. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. What are some common brands that you guys like to use? I've heard Trezor. That's basically the main one you hear. It was the original Bitcoin hardware wallet. I know that there's one called Cold Card, which is supposedly supposed to be the safest one because it's like air gapped. It's Bitcoin only. There's a feature on it where you can, like, basically, if you get like kidnapped and people are like threatening to torture you, you can give them a passcode that routes to as like a separate wallet that might have less crypto in it, right? All these things are good features. It's just that you have to remember, right? This is all the responsibility of owning crypto. You have to remember. But I think those are interesting features. I used to have a Keep Key. I haven't heard nothing about Keep Key. I mean, it's collecting dust, you know. There's a few of them. But here's the thing. I used to be a big proponent of the oldest, like, hardware wallets are the ones I'm most interested in because, yeah, you can audit it. You can say all these things. You can say that's better than this product because X, Y, and Z. But you know, the real test, just like blockchains, is time. Performance. There ain't no stress test that can overcome the test of time, right? So, like, Ledger for a long time has kept people's stuff safe. But, like, let me rephrase that. Ledger for a long time has kept people's funds safe from hackers. But who keeps your funds safe from Ledger? That's the question you have to ask. You know, it was GitHub, you're right. Cool. My paper wallet is my wife's cookbook. It's safe there. Yo, bro, let me borrow it. I gotta make some guac later on tonight. Where is it? I mean, hey, look, at the end of the day, a lot of people laugh at that, right? It's the same thing with like any decentralized money. Gold and silver was the same way. People bury it. People put it in crazy places, like in between things. They have maps. Like, this has been a problem with self-custodied money forever. Cryptocurrency is no different than gold and silver in terms of storing it. It's the same problems. You know what I mean? So, got to get creative. I mean, splitting it up, having on different devices to reduce technical risk, having some on a hardware wallet, having some hidden away paper wallet, have some in, you know what I mean? It's just like, what do you prefer? What works best for you? What do you feel most comfortable doing and like having your wealth in? But yeah, I mean, I would probably go Cold Card. I have never used one, but I know a lot of them like it. And the reason they like it is, one, it's like air gapped. Two, you have that ability to generate multiple wallets from a password. that you can like misdirect people in case you're like someone starts hitting your feet with a bat. Like, tell me your stuff. I mean, guys, this stuff is all like real, like threats, and that's why I see a lot of people on crypto Twitter and YouTube just bragging how much they have, showing their portfolio amounts, and I have this many. It's like, dog, do you know how dangerous this is? This ain't no game, bro. You're new here. I'm glad you're here, but like, this ain't no game. Like, you need to be like a little careful about this. You shouldn't be like telling anyone how much you have at all, ever, ever, ever. I know you want to brag, but dang, like, come on, dude. And yeah, cold card, but like the main thing I think you need to, what do you call it? Consider picking a hardware wallet is that it's open source. Open source in the code and the firmware, because firmwares like update your code. And like, see, the problem with Ledger is it's closed source on the firmware and the device code. And that's the main thing. No one can really see into it. It's a black box. So no one knew about this. This came out of the blue, right? And Ledger's whole defense is, well, it's closed source, so we can't let like people devise like ways to like attack it and like exploit vulnerabilities. But the community's, I guess you would say, comeback to that response is, well, if we don't know what it is, how can we verify its robustness? And how can we help you improve it? That's fair. So from now on, I'm only going to be using hardware wallets that are open sourced in firmware and like device code. Ultimately, I would love to use a hardware wallet that also has the tested time behind it. And I think one of them that matches that the best is Trezor, but Trezor is now without its complications as well. You guys remember a couple years ago or a year ago, I don't know, time is blending together. But Trezor had has like a physical exploit, right? Go type it in like Trezor, hacked Trezor on YouTube or something, and some dude that shows you a way that he could like with a pin and like computer setup. I mean, you have to know how to do this, but it is possible to extract the private keys from a Trezor. Now I've heard there's ways around that by setting a password on your Trezor, which is a function that it allows, but yet to verify. But what would you prefer, right? Would you prefer remote hacking threat or physical like theft threat? I don't know. Personally, I probably would prefer like a device that like really mitigates hacking threat. There's like people who hack like 20 hours a day. They're going to find out. It is possible. They're going to find out. Check. Can you hear me? Check. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, my mic went out. I think you can hear me. Unless I'm tripping. But Snoop wore his around his neck. Actually, let me pull that up. Yeah, that was a good sign of like euphoria, right? Snoop and Drake wearing gold and diamond crusted like ledgers, and YG in his music video showing it off. Like, they did a good marketing job. They did a good job marketing. They should put more money towards the security of the technical security of the devices, in my humble opinion. Am I still muffled? Not sure. But yeah, guys, it's something that's very important. And I'm just seeing a bunch of people come into space and not know nothing about security. Nothing. And to be honest, you can really tell that there's more and more like mass adoption happening. It hasn't hit that critical mass yet, but we're starting to see people come in, Bitcoin ETF, this and that, hold it on Coinbase. I'd rather prefer hold it on an exchange. Really? Because you sound like you never heard about Mt. Gox. And you sound like you never heard about FTX. Like, it's like watching people walk into a wood chipper. Like, what are you going to say? You're not going to convince them. They're just gonna have to see for themselves. But if I could save somebody, that'd be good. You know, like there's so many like crypto fundamentals that I've seen people just kind of like throw into the wind like it doesn't matter. It makes me realize they don't know how dangerous this place is. You can get hacked, you can get kidnapped, you can get robbed, you can lose your stuff in an exchange, you can get involved in a bankruptcy, all these things. But you know what? I take for granted my experience in crypto. What do you guys think? What do you think? And you know what? I think, and I allegedly, I gotta say these things allegedly, but I can just imagine a day where, could you imagine that? All the ledger devices, their seeds get extracted by some actor that got into their database. Like, it doesn't even have to have my ledger. It doesn't even have to be a malicious intent by ledger. Ledger showing its lack of robustness in its security processes does not make me at all confident that they could prevent that from occurring. If you have a technical ability to pull out seed phrases and or private keys from your devices remotely, willy-nilly, like that's not good, right? And they'll say it's opt-in. We can't get access to your private key shards unless you opt in. Opting in just makes it legal for you to take it from me, but technically you could do it, right? Right? And technically, that dude who got his account compromised and uploaded malicious code shouldn't have been able to do so, right? But it happened, right? See, that's the way you have to think about it. Yep. Now, do you guys who use Trezor, what model do you use? Do you use the 1? Do you use the Model T? There's a new one. Was it the 3? That one seems pretty in high demand. The difference is cryptocurrencies you're able to store on it. And have you guys had any experience using the Trezor bridge where it can interact with like Exodus and other third-party dApps? I'm a little wary about having it do that, given that like the whole exploit that happened with the Wallet Connect kit for Ledger was having Ledger interact with third-party dApps. But let me help you guys out. I use DeFi. I do all that because I'm a degen like that. I'm in a space I like to try new things, right? But you should never really be like connecting your wallet to like a bunch of like dApps. And they're saying you shouldn't use blind signing. Like I know some dApps like require you to blind sign, but if you're gonna have a hardware wallet that interacts with MetaMask and interacts with other dApps, honestly, you should have like 2 then, or 3. Like, so if that wallet does get drained, then it's draining like minimum of stuff. You know what I mean? And I think there was like a wallet. What was it? A wallet guard. It's basically an extension you download that checks and lets you know, like something pops up to let you know if there's a drainer contract in the dApp you're about to sign. Is that serious, guys? Is that serious? Because like there's no way to get your crypto refunded, right? Not any way that I know. I think it's probably be best to use all. Spread your risk and hope only one gets hacked. But they all could get hacked or lost, LOL. That's true. I think we need something more secure like a CBDC. Look, to be honest, this is the way I think it's going to go down. Everyone thinks that, the government will never allow Bitcoin, never allow decentralized currencies to flourish. I don't think that's true. The government doesn't really care. Okay? The government cares about the point of transaction. They care about the money you spend to get actual goods. Can they track that? Who cares if you sell some Bitcoin, cash it into a CBDC, and then like you spend it? Like they still know what you bought. They still can track that transaction, right? They just care about the tracking. They just care about how you can track it, right? So like, and to be honest, until we get like a crypto economy, like a really like peer-to-peer crypto economy, like not just a few like shops around the world except crypto, like all of them, a lot. Enough where you can like get pretty much whatever you want. I don't see a way we get around that. And to be honest, I don't think we should get around it. Like if we're gonna do like if I find one of you guys out in the world and you want something I got and I got something you got, cool, we can do that. But like, yeah, cash that thing, get the CBDC, buy the thing. I don't, and if you really care about your privacy, then you should be buying privacy coins. And we all know which privacy coins you should buy. Monero. You know what I mean? Everyone should use one of the revoke apps to stop old permissions. True, but check it out, Dad Master. That was infected during that attack. They hit revoke.cash. That's the biggest revoke app. So like basically people going to revoke.cash because they heard of this, we're going to be getting drained. That's crazy, right? So like, I guess everything's okay now, right? But a better way to do it is like, don't even ever hook one of your hardware wallets up to like one of these things. You know what I mean? Like I did hear this though, that the Ledger S doesn't have enough room for the firmware update for the key extraction, like their Ledger Recover. They can't do it on there, at least right now. So like, I used to use the X. I had a few of them. I just had some on deck. I just had some like S's on deck, like X's on deck. Instead of someone like steals it or loses it, I could just like reload it up, move it real quick. So like, I'm probably gonna transfer stuff to the S, some stuff, because like not everything fits on the Trezor, not everything. Like that's the one thing that Ledger was superior at. It had the largest amount of digital assets on like a single device, making it the most cost effective in that way. But like they dropped the ball too hard, man. Like I can't believe their Ledger Recover program got through the what do you call it? Got through their PR department. What? You tripping, man. You don't understand the ethos of crypto? Guess not. A CBDC will be a crazy inflow of fiat to crypto. Yeah. I mean, guys, a CBDC, like everyone's against the CBDC. How is that much different than the dollar? It's not that much different. It's not that much different. Like, yeah, they can like program your money and do this and that, but they could freeze your funds now. Like, it's not like to me, it's not like this crazy dystopian thing. It's like they're just trying to get hip with crypto. And inadvertently, they probably will teach people more about crypto. But then it will fail too, because it still will suffer the same inflationary problem the fiat currencies we use today do. What are your thoughts on Secret Network? Secret Network. One of my homies, Aztec, he loves Secret Network. I don't know. Are they UTXO based or account based? They're from Cosmos, right? Isn't that account based blockchain? Let me know. Because to be honest, I don't know how you have a real privacy coin without being UTXO based. That's the most similar technology to digital cash, And there's a few privacy coins, guys, like there's Zcash. Dash is turning from that. There was Zen or Horizon, but they're turning from privacy too. There's Monero. There's a few of them, right? There's a Litecoin has privacy features. I don't know the difference between like a privacy feature and a privacy coin. My favorite privacy coin is probably Monero. You don't have to do anything for it to stay private. Uses ring signatures. Bada bing, bada boom. Totally fungible. There's no history on the coin. So what's bad, what's good. I don't know much about Secret Network, man. But I don't know how they do privacy any better than Monero. There's a bunch of like Monero forks, right? There's Nero and all this stuff. But I think for a good privacy coin, it needs to be POW. I think it needs to be UTXO based. I think the coins have to be completely fungible and no option for privacy. It has to be completely private 100% of the time, because like that's the problem with a lot of these coins, right? Like Bitcoin, they like, I'm learning more. I'm in the space. Bitcoin isn't completely fungible. Every Bitcoin has a history of what it's been used and why and how. And imagine getting paid in a Bitcoin that has a tainted history, and you get froze by an exchange. Is it your fault? Is it really your fault that you were paid for probably a service that you did, or something that you sold? I don't know. You know, can Secret Network do that? Do they have like flawless 100% privacy? I don't know. I'm really asking. Let me know. It's one less step to buy crypto. Yeah. What do you think about Tommy? I don't know anything about Tommy. What is that? Is it a coin? Probably. Sounds like a ticker. What is Tommy? Yeah, guys. Security is important. It's very important. Also probably using like a VPN, right? Invest in a good what do you call it? Virus protector or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Like a program, like a good one. That prevents things, has a firewall, this and that. But like all these things just mitigate the risk. There's no like foolproof way. But I think just being aware of the different attacks is helpful, you know. Also, in terms of like exchange risk, there's ways that even exchanges get hacked, but there's ways to secure them now, like secure like Google accounts, secure exchanges. Like I like to use a product called YubiKey, right? A YubiKey is basically a physical device that you input into your USB port that acts as a two-factor authentication. And the cool thing is, like, you know, the problem with these things like Authy and Google Authenticator is that basically like those can get hacked and they can get access to those numbers. Like they can like literally like get that remotely, right? It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens, right? It's possible. So like a lot of the main exchanges now use allow for the use of YubiKey and like a physical security token. I learned about these when I was working in aerospace. They used them like a long time ago. I was like, oh, I gotta get one of these, and I found it. Right. So basically, like by touching the device, it acts as it inputs the code on the device, acting as your two-factor authentication thing. Right. If you lose it, you're screwed. Right. So it's probably good to have redundant, and it's probably good to split them up, you know, but you can prevent someone who hacks into an exchange from actually sending your stuff off, cashing it out, doing this and that. So even if they get in there, they can't really do much. These are things you got to think about, man. Especially if you're going to be in crypto, you got to like think about how you're going to prevent the unfortunate from happening, at least to the maximum amount. Yep. Privacy coin. Tomi. Is it new? Check it out later. What am I doing? I'll check it out later. But I like privacy coins, man. You know, I'm kind of like disappointed in some coins that claimed privacy and then they backed off from it when like privacy coins started getting delisted, right? Dash did that. They were claiming privacy, this privacy, that. Monero started getting delisted, and then they said, no, we're not privacy anymore. Lame. Then also, I mean, Zcash ain't never really backed off it, but I think it gets left alone because it has the option to enact privacy. I think Litecoin gets left alone because it has the option to implement Mimblewimble, like in transactions. But then it's not really a privacy chain or a privacy coin, right? Because there's most people who are not doing that. Most people don't move from the default settings. They just like use it how it is. And if it's not defaulted on privacy, then there's probably a trace to find out who has it and who used it. Even if you don't, the person who sent it to you probably did, you know? So I Monero is like probably the most interesting because it defaults to privacy. It doesn't let you not use privacy. And ring signatures are pretty interesting. Like I've tried to look at like transaction history and figure out ring signatures, and I can't do it. Not like I'm the smartest dude, but like I can see like it obscures where it came from, how much came. It shows a list of people it could have come from, and a list of people it could have went to. So interesting things. Yeah, yeah. And I have a theory. I have a thesis that privacy will like start to pop off after 2030. After 2030. I mean, like, then the demand for privacy is gonna like expand. But I don't see a future where the need for privacy doesn't get greater. Like the more I see the world get more and more like weird, and like more and more like centralized control try to assert itself over your life and things, I don't see people not wanting privacy. They just don't know they want it yet, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. Keep my authenticator apps on an old phone. It never connects to the internet. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, authenticators too, man. That's a vector. Phishing's a vector. Trojan horses are a vector. Keyloggers. I mean, you usually get that from phishing. Anything, man. Like it's pretty wild west out here. Even Ledger didn't really get hacked. Like there's all these roundabout ways, like back doors that they don't necessarily look at their security structure and be like, okay, we're lacking here. They just forgot to revoke access. That's wild. I don't know how you guys feel about it. That's pretty wild to me. But have any of you used Cold Card? I know it's Bitcoin only, but have you used Cold Card? That's interesting to me. I mean, I went to the Litecoin Summit, the first one, 2018. There was other wallets that I don't hear about anymore. Cool Wallets, which was like a credit card sized wallet. It was thin like a credit card too. They're kind of a dime a dozen. I've seen Jade Wallet. See, the problem is they're new wallets. I don't know if they're good. Don't know how good they are. Like, I don't even know how good Cold Card is. I mean, they're newer, right? Everyone could say this and that, but like proof is in the pudding, bro. At least Treasure's been around for a while. At least there's a way to kind of prevent it from exposing your private keys physically. And I know that they're at least much more secure from the technical remote risk than Ledger is. Because who protects you from Ledger, man? So we got to talk about. What's up? How you been? Good to see you. Welcome back. The top dog. Hey. Watch out for the fox from watching you write in password on MetaMask. Oh, yeah. The fox is like, what's your password? Been a while. It has been a while. I've been around, you know. I've been around. Just been here, bro. Yeah, watch out for that fox. But Super Nerf, tell me about Secret Network's privacy. I'm very skeptical of account-based blockchain privacy projects. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible though. That's just a lack of knowledge from me. Like, I'm skeptical because I don't know enough. Maybe I can be convinced. I'm open to be convinced, you know. But in terms of like a money, UTXOs are like probably the most sovereign type of coins, right? Because like whenever I first heard about atomic swaps, and I was like, wait, you could basically like convert UTXOs into other coins, like without using exchange, without like anything. Like atomic swaps are probably where the world will move when like the clamp on crypto gets too great, right? And I know a few UTXO like atomic swap platforms. Like when I first heard it, it was from Litecoin Summit. We're talking about atomic swapping between like Litecoin and Bitcoin, right? Then I hear that it's basically possible for any UTXOs like Digibyte to Litecoin to Bitcoin. Then I hear about Decred and their wallet. They can atomic swap between Bitcoin and Monero. I know Monero has a wallet where they can go from Monero to Bitcoin. These are the things where it's like this is what they can't control. And if the blockchain is account based, it can be frozen. I mean, we just saw Tether freeze money, right? And we just heard about Tether onboarding FBI agents into their team. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here now? Like, what's happening in crypto? Like, what? This is not like what it was. But like, people like that now. It's the strangest thing to me. Like, crypto was an alternative way to practice autonomy. But now people want funds to be frozen, this and that, catching bad actors. Well, you know what? Like, if the cyberpunks thought that back when Bitcoin was made, Bitcoin wouldn't exist. Because you know what they hit Bitcoin with? Now Bitcoin is known as this, like, all the maxis love Bitcoin, and it's known as this like purist new financial asset, financial like Robin Hood that's going to save all the poor plebes. Back in the day, Bitcoin was a drug dealer coin. Back in the day, it was for the dark net. You see how the narrative shifts? It shifts, right? And now we want people to control stable coins by freezing accounts and wallets. That's not the original ethos of crypto. But hey, maybe I'm just old as hell. I don't know. Who knows? 7 people, what's up? Yeah, guys, I don't know. Am I old? I think I'm old. It's only been 10 years. I guess it's been 10 years. My hip hurts. And prune juice has been tasting so good lately. Ay. But yeah, that's basically it on security, guys. Like, if you haven't thought about security, you don't have a hardware wallet, you probably should get one. If you're going to have something that's super long-term storage and you have a safe place to put it, paper wallet's a good thing. If you're trying to like capital flight from your country, obviously a brain wallet's a good thing, but you got to like know that your brain can remember. Because like if you end up getting to your destination, you're like, was it this or that? You're screwed. You're so screwed. Screwed. You know? So yeah. What's your plan 2024 in crypto, dude? I think 2024 is going to be popping. Hopefully. I hope. It's been like so like lackluster for so long, but I think 2024 is going to be more popping than most people think. Like everyone's looking back at 2021 and 2020 and 2017, and they're copying that like run up and putting it on this cycle. Like, oh, it says to 2026, and I'm like, bro, when has crypto ever really copied exactly previous cycles? Every cycle is a little different. The one cycle we haven't seen is a left translated cycle. Go check out Bob Lucas. He talks about this. But like the way I see it, I think we're going to have a pretty explosive blow off top in 2024. And you know why? Because no one's expecting it. Most people aren't expecting it. They think like, oh, 2024 will be nice and gradual and we'll wait and then 2025 will go. This is how I know these people are new to crypto, because crypto ain't never wait for anybody. It always takes off and leaves a max amount of people behind. And whenever I see too many people thinking this, I get skeptical. I mean, that's how I got in crypto in the first place. So yeah, I think that the ETS will come. I think this thing could even top out, like, hear me out. I think this thing could top out before the halving. How weird would that be? How many people will be caught off guards from that? And if it doesn't, then maybe 2024. But I'm just so skeptical of it taking to 2025, like into 2025. Like what? BlackRock's gonna come in here and they're just gonna like slowly buy Bitcoin out? Like they're gonna let you get your bags? Like they're gonna be nice and let you pick up all your sats that you were late to buying? No. Like this is the thing. Half these people that come into here come from stocks or like more tamed markets, and they think crypto moves like their market. Crypto does not move like their market. Crypto moves larger than life, right? Crypto is exponential. Like these people, they don't understand how high and fast crypto goes when it starts going. And all it needs is a catalyst. But what I will say is this, just expecting it to be just like the last cycle is an error in thinking. That's what I think. LOL. I hear you, bro. BTC topping out at 75K to 79K. Like for what? The cycle high? That's low as hell. Maybe, but hey, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. It all kind of depends on what happens, right? But I see a perfect storm brewing, right? We see the ETFs coming through the pipe. I wrote a thread on this. Go check it out. Follow me on X. Please. Try and get my numbers up. Please. Follow me on X. I put my here. Follow me, please. And I see a perfect storm. In that thread, I explain it. ETFs coming. We got Terra Luna coming back. We got UST starting to rise out the bottom. If that comes back, wow. We have FTX coming back from bankruptcy. We have all the people who are bankrupt because FTX going bankrupt starting to come back too. Salt Lending, BlockFi, like those people getting their loans back. Like a lot of liquidity's coming out from death's doorstep. A lot of new liquidity's coming in. Then the halving comes, right? And the dollar's starting to fall. The dollar's topped out and it's starting to go downwards. Then on top of that, the Fed's going to start pivoting. They're going to start cutting rates. Like, well, I've heard a good and bad scenario on that. But like, it sounds like jet fuel to me. It sounds good to me. And if all those things happen at the same time, does it really sound like it's going to be like a stair step upwards? I don't. Dog, I've been in crypto since 2013, and I know that Bitcoin likes to run and sprint to where it's going. And the one thing I would like, you don't have to believe me, right? Like, I think in terms of like scenarios, and I see a scenario setting up for something more explosive than most people are thinking. But I will tell you this: go to the Bitcoin price chart and skip the 2017 run and the 2020 run and go straight to the 2013 run. 2013 to 14. I have no idea why none of these charting people go ever compare what might happen to that cycle. No one talks about that cycle. They're all talking 2017 to 2020. They never go backwards to 2013. And to me, that fractal looks like a smaller version of what's occurred over the last 2 years. Who knows? But no one says that we can never do that again. People just like to come up with like ideas in their mind and like solidify it as truth and fact. They like to think they know exactly what's going to happen as truth and fact in the new market. Last time I checked, there ain't no experts in crypto out here because they all been in here the same time or a little less than me. I'm not an expert. How are they expert? And I've been here less than some people. I'm no expert. But see, that's the problem. They lack humility. And usually that's why people get left behind. We'll see. Remember the Ripple lawsuit. I personally think that's going to come into play at some point this cycle. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ripple taking off would be a big deal. A big deal. Everyone's forgotten about Ripple. But it's been rising off the bottom. You know, if you look at the fractal on Ripple, it doesn't do anything for a long time, and then it does a lot. And we just really need like a coin to take off like that to get froth going. Like, remember Doge was that last time in 2020. Doge went up first. Actually, before Doge, AMC and GameStop went up first. And then nickel went up. And then like Doge went up. And then like a bunch of cryptos went up. Like, if anything, it's like the piling in culture. It's like the momentum culture. It's interesting. We got to start seeing that happening. People start hearing the stories. Oh, shoot, get into this, get into that. And then all of a sudden, people are just cramming their shit. Shouldn't have said that. Cramming their money into things they never want to put it in. They never thought about. They just greedy. Markets are moved by psychology. Markets are moved by feelings. Always remember that. Whenever you look at a chart and you see it, know that the reason it goes up and down is because it's reflecting how people feel about something. The better they feel about it, the higher they think the price should be. They buy it up. The worse they feel about it, the lower the price is, they sell it off. It's the only reason markets exist, right? So like it pays to like study the Wall Street psychology of a market cycle, and it pays to like really look around and be kind of detached and be like, new people acting like they know what's going on again. Oh shoot, they're saying Bitcoin's new paradigm. Up, crypto.com put their logo on the top of Staples. That seems a little weird to me. You know what I mean? It ain't got to be smooth. Run, sprint, run, sprint. Nope. Yeah. And you'll see that like a lot of people come into the space from the stock world because the ETF is approved, and they're not going to know at all how this stuff moves. They're going to see it move up so fast, it's going to blow their mind. They ain't never been in something like this before. The closest thing is probably Tesla, you know, but crypto can move much higher than Tesla. You know, it's going to blow their mind. Like, wow, this is interesting. This is it. Like, they're going to have their mind blown. And you and I are no better than that because we've been here for a little longer. One more money printer go burr before the last bear market in crypto. So I've always been in the opinion that this run up, we have another run up. You know, like I think we have another run up, another leg of inflation, really, right? And then asset prices go crazy. You know why? Because that's what happened right before the Great Depression. The roaring 20s. Like that thing went exponential. Everything went crazy. Like a huge amount of millionaires were minted. Everyone jumped to the top, and then the plug got pulled. Bang. People were smart enough, took money at the top. They invested at generational lows. Generational fortunes were made just by that. You know what I mean? I think something similar is going to happen. History isn't always the same, but a lot of times it rhymes. The Fed will make it look like they weren't the cause of the problem. No, to be honest, look, this is how I think it's going to go down. We're going to get another run of inflation. The reason I think that is because the Fed's already starting to say inflation's under control. We're going to start dropping interest rates, right? Now everyone thinks inflation is under control. Really, when CPI is not going negative, in order for inflation to go backwards to where it used to be, CPI has to be negative. No, CPI is only reduced by like 0.1%, like barely. So it's still inflating just at a slightly slower rate. So we're still not going to go back to pre-pandemic prices. It's still getting worse, but they're starting to switch the narrative and say, you know what? It's coming down. Look at the CPI. And everyone's like, yeah, the CPI is going down. Cut rates. The reason the Fed's cutting rates is because the economy is falling apart. It's falling apart. Layoffs, all this stuff. They'll paint it in a rosy picture, but the economy is doing horribly. Housing is crashing. People can't get the mortgages they used to get. They can't get credit they used to get. And the problem is this whole system is ran on credit. If you can't get credit, the system stops functioning. They know this. It's all about managing your perception, right? So they're going to bring rates down and people are going to love it. Stock market's going to surge. Crypto's going to surge. Housing's going to surge. And right when everyone thinks like gets greedy and everything, inflation's going to run rampant. Like prices now are not that bad. They're going to get real bad. And then at that point, then the Fed has their excuse to hike interest rates up 20%. Interest rates are what? 5-7% now? Imagine go 20%. That's happened before. Look at the 70s. That's how they stopped the 70s inflation. What do you think is going to happen to real estate when that happens? What do you think will happen to crypto when that happens? What do you think will happen to stocks when that happens? And they'll say, it's not our fault. We had to. Like, people can't afford bread. I can see it so clear in my mind's eye, man. And then boom, another engineered event. Providing the narrative they need for the masses to look the other way. Yeah. It's all about managing perceptions, y'all. But other than that, guys, it's been about an hour. I try to keep these an hour now. I'll be doing this again Thursday noon. Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. Make sure to come through, show some support. I do on X and YouTube now, trying to set the game up. Follow me on X. I do between the streams and whenever I can post threads and like post about what I think's coming down the pike. It's all fun. Hopefully I start doing a little more in terms of the shorts thing, but time will get more abundant as the market progresses. But until next time, guys, it's been fun. Talk to you later. Peace. Oh, I ended.